And welcome back to WDEF News 12 this morning. It is Monday. It is time for some free legal advice. And if you got a question, all you have to do is give us a call. Here's a look at the phone number, 756-1212, 756-1212. As attorney Gary Massey is joining us this morning. He is here to answer any questions that you may have. I'm always glad to have you come on.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to jump right into our first caller. Put him to work right away. Brandon is our first caller. Good morning to you, Brandon.
Good morning, guys. How you doing, Gary?
We're doing good.
I have a question. I was working on one of those online computer things to where you secret shopper, and they sent me my payroll check, and I went and cashed it, and 2 weeks later I was arrested because the check came back altered, forged.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, am I going to go to prison for this? Because it was, it was about 2.5 months worth of work, and it was a $3,800 check.
I have actually had a client that the same thing happened to. She didn't actually get arrested, but she was investigated because she deposited one of those checks and it was fraudulent. The problem is those places are actually, not always, they say you're working for them, but really what they're doing is they're just sending you a fraudulent check, and I'm not exactly sure how they make money on it, but I haven't investigated that far. But what you got was you're just dealing with a disreputable business, a scam artist. You should be able to explain that to the police officer, to the judge, but you're probably going to have to repay the money. You're probably going to have to refund the money to the bank or to whomever lost the money, and maybe avoid prosecution that way. You can defend yourself if you didn't have intent. If it was an honest mistake, you can probably defeat the criminal case against you. But it's a risky proposition because you could lose and still be, have no intent to defraud anyone. I would defend myself if I were you, but hopefully you could make a deal where the cases would be dismissed, but that would probably require you to repay the money first.
Once again, we're answering your legal questions this morning, 756-1212. We'll get you in contact with attorney Gary Massey. Our next caller is Eunice. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Yes, I have a question about I am renting a trailer, and what it is, I've had an electrical problem in this trailer ever since I've been here, and I've been unable to get the former landlord to fix it, and he just came to my house Saturday night and told me that he had sold the place and everything. What is my rights as far as holding my rent or something to get this fixed so that I don't burn up or something in this place?
Well, you have a couple of different options. If under the laws that affect large counties like Hamilton County, you can in fact withhold rent if there's a problem with the premises that makes it uninhabitable. If it prevents your ability to live there safely, then you can actually withhold rent and fix it yourself and not pay rent until you get that fixed. But that creates a dispute, and then the judge may have to settle that dispute, and that's not always perfectly predictable. Another thing you can do is you can break a lease. If the place is not inhabitable, you can move out and go to a different place, which is what I usually recommend people to do. And then if they sue you, you're defending yourself instead of getting kicked out, instead of getting evicted. But it's a difficult situation, but you should tell your landlord that it's got to be fixed or you're not going to pay rent and you're going to move out, but you should have another place to go first probably.
Chuck is our next phone caller. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Gary. I filed a Chapter 13, and in the Chapter 13, I've got a car involved.
Mm-hmm.
And my question is, do you know how I could get my car out of the 13? The reason I'm asking is when I filed the 13, I had a temporary job, just lost it a couple of months ago, so it's been hard for me to keep up with the payments. I've got some arrearage going on through the court system, or can they modify a plan for me?
You can modify your plan if you've had a change in income. It's very difficult and usually doesn't make any sense to take a secured payment like a car outside the 13. If you're going to not use it to pay your secured debts, you're usually better off just dismissing your case. You can dismiss the case voluntarily, or if you don't make the payments, the court will dismiss it on the trustee's motion. But if you can keep the car, if you can continue to make up your payments by decreasing the amount you paid unsecured creditors, then that can save your car. But if you dismiss your bankruptcy, or if it gets dismissed, you're probably going to be further behind on your car than when you went in, and then it's going to be hard to keep your car most of the time.
Some great questions coming in this morning, but unfortunately we are running out of time. We're going to put the information on your screen. It's attorney Gary Massey at Massey and Associates, located at 1024 Martin Luther King Boulevard. The phone number is 697-4529, or you can look him up on the web at masseyattorneys.com. And there's a look at his website. We appreciate you coming in this morning.
My pleasure.
All right, folks, we're going to take a short break. We have a lot more to come here on WDEF News 12 this morning.